My entitled, soon-to-be sister-in-law is demanding, and I mean demanding, that I change up the wedding dress that I was going to wear just so it matches the bridal dresses. Guys, keep in mind, I was going to wear my late mother's wedding gown, and I'm not going to change it for anybody, and now my soon-to-be sister-in-law's throwing an absolute tantrum, and here's what my soon-to-be husband has to say.
Hey, I'm going to get married this coming December to my boyfriend. Let's call him Johnny, of 2 years. But my future sister-in-law's giving me second thoughts about everything. I only have a father in my family and my mother. She passed away 5 years ago. She was very dear to me. I met Johnny in college, and he was just a classmate then. We're not from the same city. Johnny's grandpa's from my city, and he sponsored his studies on one condition, that he would have to study at his chosen college, which was apparently in my city. So, Johnny had to leave his parents to study, which is where we met. After finishing our studies, we interned in a firm together, and then we got to know each other properly, and we became friends. He proposed to me after a few months to be his girlfriend, and it's been about a year since I became his fiance. Well, I know it's quick for both of us, but everything just fell in line and felt absolutely perfect, so why not? We're still not stable in our careers, so we decided to take our time for the being of the day. And he's from a different city, and I have not gotten acquainted with his family for a long time, so I just went there on occasion. Johnny had talked a lot about his family, especially since he could never seem to run out of praises about his sister. He also says she has an authoritative mind. I took all of his comments with a grain of salt. Firstly, I thought the connection he has with his sister is adorable. And every family has a member whom everyone listens to. When I found out everyone listened to his baby sister, it made me happy. That even though she was the youngest member of the family, she was the most important one, it seems, and I thought it couldn't be bad at all. Right? Oh boy, I was totally wrong. My future sister-in-law, let's call her Abby for the sake of the story. Abby is the most obvious, vicious, narcissistic person I've ever met. She tried to save her true face at first because she was all good in the first meeting, but it quickly became very apparent that she was a brat, and everyone in her family was letting her do whatever she wanted, even though they too probably knew whatever she was doing is just unacceptable. Abby and I have not been the closest, but I never felt that we had a bad relationship per se. She can be very greedy and rude and thinks that the world rotates around her. I've always had the feeling that she does not like me, especially after I pointed out some of her opinions at the dinner table. I uttered my opinion with respect, I swear. I even noticed the eyes rolls right there of the other family members given when I try to add some words opposing to her points. She tried to show me my place in some situations, like, get this, when she turned her back towards me where we were in a group chat setting to try to exclude me or direct the discussion towards something I didn't have any knowledge about. However, I've always ignored them, thinking that they're used to spoiling her, and I've always done my best to be friendly to her, make small conversation, and have never knowingly been harsh towards her or made her feel unwelcome in our home. I tried to keep everything pretty civil between us. However, there were 2 instances that I had faced in the early visits with this family that made me certain that she was an evil, narcissistic witch. Well, first, when I was invited to my in-laws' house for Christmas, she suddenly went completely off the rails, and later I found out the reason behind it was that her parents were planning to introduce me to their other relatives at the event. And as I would be the center of attention at the party, she was not digesting the fact very well. So, when I went there, I found out that the party would actually be held in their grandparents' house. I'd forgotten to bring my hair straightener, and I just asked Abby if I could borrow hers for a few minutes. And all hell broke loose. She starts yelling,
What did you assume you could take my things for? You shouldn't even be here just because you're around with my brother and getting the attention that does not give you the audacity to go into my room.
She then threw the straightener across the room, breaking it into several pieces. For a moment, I froze there. My brain is not used to this kind of situation, and I apologized profusely and went back to Johnny's room. I gave him all the Christmas gifts for his family and told him to attend the party without me. I came home after that, and for the following month, I received voicemails, text messages, and direct messages from Abby saying every vicious, hateful thing you can imagine because she got scolded by her grandparents because of me. Well, my in-laws also called me about how I need to apologize to her because I, quote, made her yell at me. She called me a liar, other names, and clearly she was having some sort of mental health crisis. But one day when my boyfriend wanted to invite his family to our house, at that time, by the way, we had recently started living together, he said that his sister was refusing because I didn't talk with her. For the sake of his gloomy face, I called her and invited her personally. Things were good between us, mainly because we didn't meet each other for months after that, and whenever we did meet each other, she tried to act friendly to me. But guys, then the second wave of her true nature came out. One day, she calls me up, saying that she was having some issues with her new boyfriend, and asked for my honest advice. It was about her boyfriend refusing to pay for her demands, and she literally asked him to give her a Hawaiian vacation on their 1-month anniversary, and he refused. Well, I would too. She asked for my honest opinion, and I gave it to her honestly. Of course she didn't like it. She literally went back to her parents and made up all this stuff that I literally never said. I'm blown away. She even called Johnny, saying my love for him was not genuine. This was the second time that she had actually done this, too. Everyone in his family goes and gets angry at me, and this time, I came clean to them and also apologized to her for being honest. Johnny was mostly silent in these cases, so he didn't really bother. I don't know. But after I got proposed to, I needed to be on their good side. I knew that we would not be staying in the city, so I thought cooperating with them at my wedding wouldn't hurt. She can be a handful sometimes, yes, but I have to be prepared for it. When we got engaged, we decided to hide it from others, because our relatives would force us to arrange the wedding as soon as possible, and we were not ready. They have this kind of tendency. Also, we're not planning for a big wedding. A small, cozy wedding would be enough for us. On the other hand, I don't have to worry about a wedding dress, as I'll be wearing my mom's. It was an heirloom dress, and before my mom, my grandmother wore it at her wedding. My mom's dream was to see me in that dress, but unfortunately she could not. However, I will still carry the tradition. All I need to do is make some slight alterations, and I'll be able to wear it. When we finally revealed, they all congratulated us and asked about our wedding plannings. My future sister-in-law was silent most of the time, probably not liking the attention that we were getting. However, suddenly, after noticing the ring, she asked her brother about the price of it. The next day, my fiance came from the office and showed me a silver diamond bracelet that he had got for his sister. It had the same design, but was even better than the ring. He said his sister called him today when he was in the office and just asked for jewelry the same as my ring design, and he thought a bracelet would be better for his precious little baby sister. I was hurt by it. Not because she wanted something the same as me, no, but because he did not discuss buying it with me. We'll be building a family together. We should discuss things like this, right? However, I did point out the matter to him, but he stated that I was trying to break the family apart, even before getting married. A part of me felt guilty for doing it, and they probably have a dynamic in the family, and I shouldn't change it. I apologized and assured him that I would try my best to cooperate with his sister. After a few days, future sister-in-law came into my house with her family and demanded to be my maid of honor. I had already asked my childhood best friend about it. When we were young, guys, we would absolutely vow to each other that we would be each other's maid of honor, and I told her politely that I had already asked my friend to be my maid of honor. She starts throwing a fit, saying that I don't consider her a family member, because how could I think about someone outside when she's there? I tried to make her understand. I'd known my friend for years and before I met her, but everyone in her family, including my fiance, glared at me, indicating how dare I make their baby sister cry. I was feeling uncomfortable with everything, and I finally told them that I would talk to my friend about it and let them know. So for a few days after that, she constantly called me for the answer. The moment when I finally informed her that she would be my maid of honor and agreed to cooperate with her in my wedding planning, she started showing her extreme dominance. I thought those few bad encounters we had before we were her highest point of dominance, but oh no, I was wrong. I really wanted a small wedding and had not planned many things. So if she was going to arrange things, I wouldn't mind in most cases, but never thought that she would gradually cancel out all of my wishes and move it to the way that she likes. I'm the bride, and future sister-in-law is exacting about her vision for the wedding, ignoring my input altogether. To be fair, my fiance seemed enthusiastic about the wedding when his sister came into the picture, but he doesn't seem distinctly sheepish and frustrated whenever I try to point things out. I don't understand why I was getting long-distance treatment at my own wedding. Nobody's ever told her no, and nobody can figure out how to start saying it. Well, as she was the maid of honor, I told her that I could only spend 2 months on the marriage preparation because I wanted a simple and small wedding with my close people. She declined the idea altogether and said that she had already decided on my bridesmaid dress for herself and that she needed to be a big wedding to flaunt it. She also said that her new boyfriend is rich and will think that she's poor if I have a small wedding. My future in-laws and my fiancé agreed with her, and I told them that I already told him what I wanted, so why was he not supporting his soon-to-be wife? I also told him if she wanted a big wedding, she could have it on her own wedding. So why force it into mine? Well, he was mad and said his sister knows what's best for everyone and I should just be respectful to her. Guys, I don't know. It's just the beginning and she's already making everything about her. I know I said I won't mind about her opinions, but the way she rejects my opinion is just straight up weird. And her family's being okay with it. I think that's so much weirder. What's up, everybody? Mr. Reddito here. Let me know what you think about this overbearing, soon-to-be sister-in-law. Drop it down below in the comment section, but oh wait, things are about to get a lot worse. I do have a few updates for you, but guys, if you're new to the channel and you haven't had a chance to subscribe, consider subscribing. It only takes a second, and it does support the channel. Here's your first updates. Update number 1. Hey, it's been a few weeks since I shared my story, and things have been hectic for me since then. The hunch I had became more prominent and vicious day by day. People who were saying to give her time and she would act normally with me. Believe me, I've been patient with her and let her do anything she wants to please her brother, and all these things only harm me. I should never have made her a maid of honor. First of all, she made me delay my wedding date. I wasn't on board with it, and my fiancé has already applied for leave. And the same goes for me. But the next day, his sister demanded that he postpone for the preferred date of her. Now they're forcing me to change my date, telling me I'm not trying enough. You'll laugh if you know the reason behind it. Apparently, she wants a big wedding, which is why it's taking her time to arrange everything. She also commented that I was getting fat and encouraged me to work out more and more, and everybody even agreed with her. I postponed my wedding for 5 months. The comments about my weight made me so insecure, so I agreed. I've been working out a lot and managed to lose a little, but I think it was not enough, and everybody's noticed it. To be honest, whenever I'm in my city, I've been eating stressfully, and you can tell who the reason behind my stress is. I have another more to go before I'm at a healthy weight for my height, and I just hope to have that off by my wedding so that it fits into my dress good. This wasn't initially my goal. My goal was to just get healthy, that's it. I was taking everything casually, and future sister-in-law was just straight up positively encouraging me, so there's no harm. No harm, I thought. My fiancé proposed that as our wedding got delayed, we should take a break from work and live with his family for a few days just to get to know them. Well, you know what? I agreed. My future sister-in-law even asked if we could start working out together, as she knows I'm working out regularly now. And she's trying to, quote, get wedding ready. Okay. I said sure. And during my first exercise, which took place in their garage, she mentioned how glad she was for me that I was finally getting into good shape. How great I look now and how it's a good thing I decided to do it when I did, because otherwise I would just continue looking like a pig. Well, out of proportion? In my wedding? I rashly left after that, and afterward I get a phone call from my fiance asking why I left their place in tears. He was working nearby, I guess, and I told him what had taken place and that I was considered not cooperating with her anymore. He didn't say much after that, and the call just ended shortly after. So, since then, the news has circulated through our family and relatives, and while a lot of them do agree with me, a lot others are saying that I'm being oversensitive and dramatic, and that future sister-in-law has every freedom to give her points as a family because, quote, she only wishes the best for me, based on whatever criteria she sees fit. So guys, am I being oversensitive? Update number 2. A few weeks after I'm posting this, and last time when my future sister-in-law body shamed me and said that I would be unfit for my own wedding and I would look like a pig, I got really mad. I stopped contacting any one of them as much as possible, and Johnny's reaction were more surprising for me because he's been acting like such a jerk lately. I never thought that he would go against me when I was clear that his sister was wrong. However, when the issue spread among friends and family, with mixed opinions, future sister-in-law apologized to me in the presence of everyone. Her parents also insisted I apologize to her as well. Everyone was praising her for being the mature one in the situation, even after being younger than me. Well, I apologized to her with a sour face. At this point, I just wanted to get over with my wedding and move on. After a few days, she asked me about the wedding dress shopping. By the way, she did not even care about it for a time because she was too busy to choose her dress. I didn't care because my wedding dress was already sorted. I told her that I had my wedding dress and there was no need to go shopping for that. She asked me about the dress and I gave her the details describing the dress, and it's a long-sleeved flower pattern with a V-long flowing dress, and I said I would alter it a bit to my liking and use it, and I told her it was my mother's dress and an heirloom at that. She didn't mind any of the information then, and she said she wanted to see it with her own eyes and give suggestions about alterations. I didn't have a picture of the dress, so I drew it, and along with the alterations I tried to explain it. By the way, I have tattoos on my hand and wanted to flaunt it at my wedding, which is why I'm planning for the alterations. I have 4 tattoos, all on my arms, nothing graphic or vulgar. They get a lot of compliments and remind me of cherished things. Some fishes and memorials to a cat, a memorial to my mother. She asked if I was going to wear tattoo cover sleeves at my wedding because it would take lots of thunder, and the whole dressing palette would look weird with the exposing of my tattoos. Well, that obviously led to another type of argument. I said there's no way I would not show my tattoos, and they were not vulgar. I wanted my mom's memorial tattoo to shine bright that day. She complained to her brother, and this time he defended me and said that she was out of line to ask, which I do appreciate deeply. Then he came to me the next day and said that I should reconsider my design. I straight up said no, and he did not force me after that. His sister was frustrated with it, and she did not get her way, and that bugged her like hell. At the dinner table, she asked me to bring my dress to the next visit to their house, and I don't know, now I'm scared. She's unpredictable, and my dress is too important to me. If she ruins the dress completely out of anger, I don't really know what I'm going to do then. Anyways, I'll update ya. Update number 3. Hey, I'm updating after a few days, guys. I want to say sorry for all the frequent updates. I'm too frustrated. I don't really know what to do. I think that I'll break off my marriage. Everyone's saying in my last update that I'm just overreacting and everything, and that things could have been handled so easily if I just agreed to cooperate. I'm sorry, but I don't know if you'll understand it or not. I'm a sensitive person, and since when future sister-in-law came into the picture, I've been having the hardest time coping with everything. And this time she crossed her limits by thousands of miles, and I'll tell you what happened, and I want the same people who said I overreacted to respond to this. As in the last update, future sister-in-law wanted to see the dress, and I agreed but made it crystal clear that she could not do anything to it, as it was an heirloom dress and too important to me. She agreed, and the next week I bought the dress to her. Her first comment was, "Are you trying to look like a Victorian bride?" I knew she would say that, but I told her that I would take the sleeves out and do some alterations in the neckline. She still said that it looks too old and the color is outdated, and she showed me a picture of a dress that had a heart bodice with a lace sleeve and a flower design on the bottom, a bit more of a princess vibe. So, the dress is good, but I firmly said that I'll still wear it no matter what. She was throwing daggers with her eyes but didn't say anything, and I thought she agreed with me, which is not like her, but I was happy that she agreed. But the next day, she took money from my fiance and bought the dress that she showed me the day before. She presented it at, the dinner table, and everybody was praising her choice, but I was shocked. I told her clearly that I wanted, but she still refused to understand me, and I told her I was emotionally attached to it and would wear it to honor my late mom. When I saw no reaction from my fiance, I just felt absolutely hopeless. I could not control the tears, and I told them what I wanted and how much the dress meant to me, and they said that I was simply overreacting. Seeing me crying, future sister-in-law started busting out crying too. She was saying that she just wanted me to look good and not like an old woman, and I was being mean to her and not respecting to her, yada yada yada. Everyone went to her for comfort, and I knew my opinions were not welcome here. So I left after giving my fiancé a warning that he knew how much the dress meant to me, and that if he did not fix the issue, I would not be talking to him again. I thought my fiancé would support me because he knows how much of a mother, she meant to me. And he knows all my wishes, and I told him before that I was excited to wear my mom's dress to my wedding. But the very next day, he came and said that I have to wear the dress my future sister-in-law chose because my old dress did not go well with her bridesmaid dress. He said my mother's been dead for years, and she won't mind what I do. I was so done with him. If he can't respect one single opinion of mine, what's the point of being a couple? And he disrespected my mother and her wishes. I called off our wedding and took my stuff. It's been 2 days since I've been staying with my father. I haven't heard from any of them, and I'll update you if I get any sort of response. I know many will say I overreacted, but I don't care. Update number 4. Hey guys, my life has turned upside down in the last few months. I feel I wasted almost 3 years of my life thinking Johnny was a good guy, but he's an a-hole. Straight up. Come on, I never thought that he would be like that. However, I will ignore all the overreacting comments I get. You guys literally don't know and will probably never know until you're in my shoes. However, people who thought calling off the wedding was the most reasonable action, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's my last update, sorry for the delay. However, when I called off the wedding for a week, I did not receive any kind of reaction from them. After that, I started receiving tons of calls and messages from his friends and family. His sister is acting like a whole victim in the situation, and I'm the only villain in their eyes. They even started bothering my father about how ungrateful I was. He was sick for a few days, and it was getting to be too much for him. One day, Johnny came to my workplace and actually threatened me, saying things like I had ruined his life for petty reasons and he would complain about me to my boss and get me fired for ruining my life. One of his friends even said that I was probably having an affair. An affair? Which is why I just found out a reason to get rid of him. When he tried to get into my house and threaten my sick father, I absolutely lost it. I filed a restraining order against him, and now they did shut up and leave us alone after that. I'll make my grounds clear from now on in my next relationship, but for now I'm happy being single. I'm taking care of my father and spending time with my friends, and I'm seeing a therapist as well, because months of manipulation kind of ruined my self-esteem. I've been calling him to give his ring back, but he's not accepting it. His sister, on the other hand, agreed to take it on his behalf. I know she agreed to meet just to give me a mouthful of her hatred, but turns out her brother is now holding her accountable for spending too much of his money and all of it going to waste. He couldn't say anything to me because I was always vocal about having a small wedding. It was she who spent the money. Her getting scolded was kind of making me feel a bit relieved. I don't know. I also heard that he's now holding her accountable for the breakup between me and him. I wish that he did that before, but guys, it's too late now, and I'm happy where I'm at. I know he'll come around, and when he does, I'll show him the door. Again. Comment number 1. Glad to hear you get out of this situation. I've been following your story since the beginning and was waiting for this update. I got scared when you didn't update for months. The future sister-in-law's a big red flag, and well, so was the fiance. Thankfully, OP, you opened up your eyes and now you're free. Not gonna lie, I've been seeing families like this, and unfortunately I'm connected to one myself. It gets so annoying in family gatherings, they act like the golden child is the only one out there living. And others are just there to serve. Try to stay positive. I know it'll be hard after years of torture, but I'm sure that you'll get through this. Comment number 2. I know you won't like to hear this, I really do, but I think most of these things happen because of your overreactions. She just has a personality, that's all. If you can't get along with the personality, you should stay away from it. Which I'm sure you'll be possible just after your marriage. You literally live in a different city, come on. Your future sister-in-law just gets excited and thinks of you as a family member, but you made it clear that you have nothing to do with her. And calling off the marriage is so harsh. Your ex-fiance loves his sister, not the personality she has, but you're assuming that he'll be okay with that demanding personality later and cut off all ties. This is too much.